See up in the chute, we do have a car sitting up there. That's the other Mike Unger Motorsports entry, driven by Cody Mahoney. Apparently they had some transmission issues in hot laps, is why he didn't come out to qualify. So when the trucks are done, he's going to come out and just do a lap just to check on that transmission, make sure it's good to go. And then he was going to have to tag the tail of a heat race. Again, Cody Mahoney's just going to take a lap here at speed as he's checking the transmission in that machine. And I'm no expert, but that didn't sound real good. So again, Cody Mahoney, young man out of Indiana, jumping behind the Mike Unger Motorsports second entry. Mike Unger also been a long supporter of the Dirt Week program from the beginning. Again, the lineup still being squared away for the late models, and the late models will be up first. So before we get started with tonight's program, ladies and gentlemen, if everyone please rise to your feet. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Rusty for our Haller Funeral Home invocation. So the late model lineups have been sent back to the pits. Late models need to be lining up in the chute, and drivers, we're going to try and keep this program moving, as it is a Thursday night, work night for most people.
And again, race fans, I believe Mike Goins and I were consulting. There will be 3 heat races. 3 heat races coming up for the super late models of the Buckeye Late Model Dirt Week. And that'll be coming up here on the racetrack in just a couple of moments.
Top 4 finishers of each late model heat will move on to tonight's 40-lap event. The rest will have to come through a B main tonight. So the top 4 finishers in the late models We'll move on 10 laps the distance. Normally we run 8 laps here on a weekly basis, so some of you regulars may notice it's going to be a little bit longer in the heat races. 2 extra laps to get the job done.
That's right. And those will be 10-lap heat races. Mike Goins, 10 laps. Top 4 will transfer in. Everybody else will go into one of those hooligan races. I don't know if it'll be 1B main or 2B mains. 1B main is what I've been told by the scores. Thank you. 1B main, and I guess that'll take, what, the top 2? 4? 4 cars? There we go. No provisionals for Buckeye Late Model Dirt Week. 2 provisionals. 1 for the Bluegrass region, 1 for the B region. So there you go. That's how we will Mike Goins trim the fat and decide the 32-car field down to 24 starters for the season opener race for Buckeye Late Model Dirt Week here tonight at Atomic Speedway.
As a fat guy, I won't take offense to that trim the fat comment, but I think I understand. I think everybody else understood what you were talking about.
There was a time that I was a big guy too, Mike Goins. You're not that big, though.
There has never been a time where I wasn't that big. So so at this point, we're waiting on the late models to get lined up again. Thank you, fans, for coming out here on a Thursday night. We've actually had a couple of Thursday night shows this season and had a lot of success with some great racing. And we had a Thursday night before Memorial Day that was kind of thrown together last minute. Great crowd and great cars that night with some great racing. So looks like we're going to have a similar situation here tonight. And we're going to try it again next Thursday night for night 1 of our open wheel challenge next week.
They're saying you got three days of racing for the modifieds next week. That's going to be really, really cool.
You're going to hold the mic. He'll come down and turn it on for the dirt on dirt.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He said he'd come down before the heat races and take care of it.
So what we'll do, Mike, since we have dirt on dirt, I want to work with you. I'll call a heat race. You call a heat race. I'll call a heat race. You call a heat race. Okay?
Officials up here saying they've got about 3 minutes down there to be lining up. Late models, heat race number 1, need to be lining up.
So I'm going to let you do heat 1 and 3, and I'll do heats 2 and 4. Mike Goins will be on the call, race fans, for heat race number 1 and heat race number 3. I will call heats number 2 and 4. And then, of course, well, if we could try to find a way to have both mics together, but like send a big thank you to DirtOnDirt.com. All late models all the time. DirtOnDirt.com is in the house, and they are doing our race coverage. Of course, of all the great things that are happening here. The mic should be on now. No, that's fine. If we set it here, could you hear both of us? Attention, Buckeye Late Model Dirt Week drivers. You have got 2 minutes to be in staging. 2 minutes to be in staging. You are on the clock. Drivers, you have got 2 minutes to be in staging. You are now on the clock.
Well, here's the lineup for heat race number 1. While it's still quiet here, we'll go ahead and go through the lineup. On the pole, heat race number 1, out of Martin, Kentucky, driving that 17 machine. That's going to be Shannon Thornsberry. On the outside, out of Fairmont, West Virginia, driving the 12M, that's going to be Ryan Montgomery.
And in row number 2 to the inside, the R.J. Conley entries. R.J. Conley in car number 71C. To the outside is going to be Hot Rod Conley in car number 71R. Those drivers ready to go, residing out of course, the great state of Ohio, Wheelersburg, Ohio.
Inside, row number 3, out of Ripley, West Virginia, that Tri-County builder, Sure Shot, number 42. That's going to be Chris Garnes. And outside, the J52 machine out of Marietta, Ohio. That is one of those kryptonite race cars. That is Jeremy Meisel.
Tentatively in heat race number 1 with damage, Lauren Longbreak out of Columbus, Ohio in car number 27. We're good. And to the outside, it'll be Chris Lockhart in the car 511. So Chris Lockhart will make up the outside of row number 4.
And rounding out the field in heat race number 1. Did not take time in qualifications. They've already had a rough night. And first time he come out for hot laps, the wheel come off that machine driving the 6 car. That is Gary Turner out of Proctorville.
So there's your lineup.
So 9 cars scheduled, 10 laps the distance. Top 4 will move on to the A main tonight. Wesley, I'm not real sure. I haven't heard him say the feature event tonight. Obviously, the top 6 cars locked in through qualifying. It'll be in the dash.
That's right.
Are they straight up in these heat races? I believe they might be.
I believe the dash is the way they were the top 6 times in qualifying, and then the way that you finish the dash will determine the top 6 lineup for the feature.
And then these heat races are straight up from qualifications as well.
3 10-lap heat races.
Being told that Lauren Longbreak, of course, made that contact there in turn 3. She's going to be a scratch from heat race number 1.
There you go.
May not be a scratch for the rest of the night, though, but definitely from heat number 1 with a quick turnaround. Not enough time for that crew to make the repairs, but apparently they are trying and going to try and make out for one of the B main events.
Let's try it that. Oh, I was supposed to hope. My bad. I said let's do it, and I got it backwards. I didn't mean to.
We each have our own mic, and then we got a additional Dirt on Dirt mic, so kind of playing around here with the system and making sure everyone's going to hear what's going on. So those listening at home, as well as those on the Dirt on Dirt feed, can all hear. So the first, looks like we got 4 of the 9 cars scheduled here in heat race number 1 have rolled out. Again, officials being very proactive, telling these guys they had to be getting ready.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The call has been made for those drivers to be on the racetrack. And, again, 1 car unable to make the call. Soren Lauren Longbreak in the car number 27, the young lady out of Columbus, Ohio, in the Kryptonite with damage in qualifying, hitting the Euchre tires at the entrance of turn number 3. And she will have to load it up and might have her night done, have to go back and fix things to be at Moeller Raceway Park tomorrow night. And that's what we'll be at Mike Goins tomorrow night for another 3,000 win show, round 2.
Quarter-mile bull ring, my home track. And, of course, in this heat race, Chris Garnes, he was a feature winner a couple of weeks ago. Come over and check it out in advance of Dirt Week. And, of course, Rod Conley has won a few races there over the years, so should be a good night of racing there. And looks like we're only going to get 6 of them going to make the call. Now I see car number 7, the 7th car, R.J. Conley, lining up there in the chute. He should be in this race as well.
So we're just missing 1 more car, and I believe that car's getting ready to roll out there, and that's one of the other Conley cars. And Mike Goins will have the field set here for a moment, heat 1.
Also seeing Jeremy Meisel going to be the last car up here rolling out again. Quick turnaround as these guys wanted that extra time between hot laps and qualifying, but they didn't realize only 2 classes of cars. They were going to be up real quick for their heat race. So, again, set the field. Shannon Thornsberry and Ryan Montgomery on the front row. R.J. Conley and Rod Conley in row 2. Chris Garnes, Jeremy Meisel in row 3. And Gary Turner and Chris Lockhart will make up row number 4. 10 laps, top 4 move on here in heat race number 1.
So, ladies and gentlemen, heat race number 1 getting ready to come to green. It is presented by Lias Tires. Lias Tires, heat race number 1. Thank you to Ty and Bill Twarg and everybody with Lias Tires. Awesome people in the racing community and in the friendship world as well. Lias Tire, heat race number 1. The field is set, ready to go with Thornsberry and Montgomery on the front row. Row 2 is Conley and Conley. Garnes and Meisel. Longbreak is out. It's followed by Lockhart and Turner, and we are ready to come to green, Mike, out of turn 4.
See the chalk line there? That's where they need to begin, and the flag stand is waving the green flag. We're racing here in heat race number 1. 3 wide as they come through turn number 1. R.J. Conley to the bottom. Thornsberry was in the middle. Montgomery backs out as they head to turn 3.
Little contact between those cars as they shoot up the racetrack. 3 wide for second. Meanwhile, Conley will lead lap 1. 3 wide for the lead. Hot dog between the bun is flying Ryan Montgomery. He gets slung like a rag doll to the outside lane as the Conley sandwich continues out of turn 4.
RJ is going to lead lap number 2. Montgomery second. Rod Conley in third. Shannon Thornsberry in that fourth and final transfer. Long way.